you guys are familiar with my channel at all, you may know that I have a review video on this, the Remington 870 Hardwood Home Defense Model Shotgun. For some time I've been trying to mount a weapons light to it. And it's one drawback I have with this shotgun is that there are no provisions to mount a rail on it from the factory. So after some searching, I found a flashlight. This is the Nightcore MH12 in the weapons mount, the GM02 weapons mount from Nightcore. And what I found is a non-permanent solution to the problem. It is the Streamlight Remington 870 rail adapter. This is a simple modification to where you take off your magazine tube and you place it in between your magazine nut that holds your barrel into place through the barrel lug, and it sandwiches in between there, and you can mount it into 3 different positions what you like. This is a non-permanent solution, and it doesn't weigh that much. Some of the other items that I came across were clamps that mount onto the magazine tube, mount onto the barrel, replace this front barrel bracket, and I didn't like any of those. They just seemed like they were too heavy, and my flashlight is heavy enough as it is. So that's one of the reasons I went to this. This is also easier to take off. Literally in 2 minutes, which I'm going to try to demonstrate here, you can have it onto the shotgun and you can take it off if you want to go shoot a match or something. One drawback I will say with this is it's not the most durable of the systems. There is a little bit of flex into it. Just make sure it matches the purpose. If this is going to be a home defense shotgun like I intend to use it, I'm not going to be banging it around as much. I might use it for IDPA matches just to see the durability to make sure its worthiness. But for mounting a flashlight for that once-in-a-lifetime use, this is plenty sturdy enough. I mean, there's no give in this thing until you mount a flashlight on it, and then you have a little bit more leverage. The other thing I have across it is this mount is actually steel, and there's 2 stainless steel rivets into a polymer Picatinny rail portion. While this is not a problem for me, being polymer, the rivets stick out a little bit, and I've gone to the trouble of taking some electrical tape and just covering them up in the case that this does flex. It doesn't mar up my my wood finish here. So with that, let's go into the installation and not make this a 10-minute video. So shotgun's unloaded. I'm going to remove this barrel clamp here at the end. Simple screwdriver or whatever you guys have. On a smaller shotgun tube, you're not going to have that clamp. So I'm going to go ahead and unscrew this portion. Watching my magazine spring come flying out here. There's that. There's my spring. And here's where the nut is going to, or this washer is going to interface. It's going to be sandwiched in here just like this. So another drawback to this is on some of the newer shotguns, or in the direction, say older, you see these keyway in here. And what there is there's a ball detent on the end of my magazine lug here, or my barrel lug here. You can see it right there. And this locks this nut into place. Putting this mount in there is I'm going to be putting basically a washer in place, and there's no provision for that locking detent. The directions do say that you need to frequently check the tightness of this. If I was hiking this around, I would probably do a different system. However, I'm not hiking this shotgun around. It's home defense, so I'm not going to be worried about it too much. I will frequently from time to time shoot it, and if I notice it, I can always put some Loctite or even some plumber's tape on it to cinch this down a little bit tighter. So taking my mount, I'm going to put it on the left-hand side because I'm right-handed, and I operate the pump action with my left hand, so I want to be able to click the flashlight on with my thumb. Simply place it into position there. You can see here that it will mount into 3 different locations. So tightening that on there, it's secure. You can see that we have increased the distance on the gap here. So that's why they ask you to, or tell you to, continually check to make sure that it is tight. All right, take my magazine tube here and feed that back, or magazine spring in here, feed it back into my magazine tube. Take my extension, feed that in there. Okay, tighten everything up. Put my barrel clamp back on. Okay, with that back installed, we're going to check our clearance here between our handguard and our actual pump. You can see I have about 1/4 of an inch, and you might be able to tell. I'm gonna flex this. You see how it closes that gap up. So that's why I installed that electrical tape on there. Last thing to do, take my Streamlight MH12, slide it onto the rail, position it here in the middle. Make sure I slide it all the way on the rail. Tighten it down, give it a good cinch, and there we go. Now it is successfully installed, and I have a light that I can easily remove by taking the thumb screw off. I can get to it when I pick my shotgun up. It's added a little bit of length, but that's just because my mount's not the most slim line. And once again, that didn't matter to me that much. All the weight is from the flashlight. I have positioned it back as far as you can. You could position this forward if you had a clearance issue here. You'd just be reaching out a little bit farther. I could also mount the remote kit for my shotgun, or for my light, if I wanted to, and mount it on the bottom or something like that, so I don't have as much width, but this is going to be just fine for me to grab and to activate really easy like. So if you guys are looking for a accessory mount for your Remington 870 shotgun that's not going to be permanent and pretty easy to take off and remove, I highly suggest looking up the Streamlight Remington 870 accessory rail mount. There's your product number. And I hope this video has helped you guys out. Thanks for watching.